Guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. So we're going to try and do a little shaky cam shot here. I'm at the Loretta Lynn's Trail Jam 2022. I'm on the bunny slopes here. This is the green. This is the green section. Wanted to kind of take it easy first to see what old Tesla TJ does. But man, so far it is just taking all of this in stride. It's really nice just to cruise through here. It's all quiet, and you can hear leaves and squirrels. And the worst part is there's an old CJ in front of me that carburetor could use a little adjustment. It's on the rich side, so its natural beauty is kind of spoiled by exhaust fumes. So I've kind of let him get out ahead of me a little bit. I've gone up some pretty steep hills. I walked these trails yesterday, and even on this the green course, these are not, these are steep hills, man. So I mean, you got to kind of struggle to walk up them. It's not, there's intermediate, green being easy, yellow's medium, and then red is hard. I walked up one of the red hills, and that's just outrageous. Like, that's just crazy. But even some of these green hills are still pretty stout. But it just went up easy. I never pulled more than about 12 kilowatts, which I can't do the math in my head, but that's probably about 20 horsepower. So I doubt if I've averaged 5 horsepower this whole entire trip. About 2 miles into it so far. All right, about 2 miles into it so far, and I've used about 2% of my state of charge. The guy Chuck, he's one of the workers here at Loretta Lynn's. He hooked me up with a 220 outlet yesterday when I came in. Today being Saturday, yesterday when I came in, and I let the Jeep sit on there for about 4 or 5 hours while I walked these trails. And I just didn't want to end up stranded on the trail like so many people want to know about, because basically I didn't have any idea how much juice this thing's going to use while we're driving. So, but now that I know that it doesn't use any, like it uses so little energy from the battery. Like at this rate, if I were to average 5 kilowatts at this rate, or not 5 kilowatts, I need to convert it to amps because I don't have a kilowatt display. But I'm pulling like 20 amps or 5 amps, just nothing really. I could go for like 30 hours with what's left in my battery. I could do this for like 30 hours. So energy loss on the trail, and everybody's worried about, oh, what are you gonna do when you run out? Man, if you don't leave with more than 5, if you have at least 5% battery, you're gonna be fine for any kind of trailing, man. So I started out with 75, and I'm at 73, and we're just over 2 miles. So yeah, this is pretty cool, man. I'm gonna cut out for now and I'll catch up again when we get to a hill. But yeah, so far so good. All right, here we are about to go down a downhill section. The regen braking's kind of cool. It doesn't kick on at slow enough speeds. Like right now I'm doing 2 miles an hour, and it won't really maintain 2 miles an hour. The motor's not spinning fast enough, but I am still regenning. So I'm only putting the brakes on very little to control my descent here. Videos do not really do justice. Now this isn't a ridiculous hill, but it is, it is pretty serious. Yeah, I don't have a cool way of illustrating how steep this is. We're on a section now, and well, there you go. That kind of gives you an idea there. So we got to kind of keep some distance between the guy in front of me. I am on the brakes here. I'm actually a little bit too close to this guy. I wish I wasn't this close, but I'm gonna get to this little bump here and slow down a little bit. Now some of these bumps kind of scare me because I can see where other skid pans have hit, and man, if the front of my motor hits on one of these, I got that kind of vulnerable connector at the front of the motor, and that would be a horror. But I did not hit on that, so I'm not sure what Jeeps are hitting their skid pan on that, but they must not have any kind of lift. This, like I said, this is the easy trail. This is the bunny trail, so you could take your stock, I just bought this thing and haven't done anything to it, Jeep out on this trail, and you'd be just fine. Yeah, they were saying during our safety briefing that you could even keep it in high gear, high 4-wheel or even 2-wheel. This is pretty easy stuff, but still, it's good. I'm glad to see how this is working. So I'll see you later. All right, so here comes a hill. Not sure how good idea this is, trying to hold a camera and navigate steep terrain, but we'll see how it goes. If it's too much, I'm just going to throw the camera on the ground and not on the ground, but I'm going to throw it on the floor and we'll see what goes. So I don't know if you can get kind of a sense of how steep this is, but it's pretty steep. You'd have a heck of a time walking it, but yeah, I'm going to leave a little bit more space than these guys are. Mostly because I don't want them to kick dust and dirt and stuff in my face. Yeah, I don't really know how long this hill is either. The problem is if one of these guys stops, or the guy at the top stops, and everybody stops, and everybody has to back up to go back down, and I don't really want to do that. I think it would be okay though, because I'd just let off the accelerator and it would roll back, and I could control my descent using the throttle. So here we go. Using about 12, 16 kilowatts. This is like really, really not hard. So this is pretty impressive actually. I've got sway bar disconnects and I have disconnected them. I don't think I really need it for this trail, but you know, 9, 12 kilowatts. Yeah man, this is like no problem. That's pretty awesome. I don't know if I'm gonna be bold enough to take on a medium course. I don't know, once I tell fellow Jeepers how good it did here, they're probably going to convince me and I'm going to do it. But we'll see. All right. Kind of a cool view. I don't know if you can see it, but all the Jeepers in front of me there. Let's get an action shot of the wheels. Yeah. Oh, I go through some mud. Get a little bit of Jeep action shot there. Yeah. One thing that's kind of impressed me, one thing that's definitely impressed me is this power steering unit. I mean, this is just from a Prius, and I've had like no troubles, knock on wood. Like I haven't had any issues keeping it, being able to steer it, and this is some pretty rugged stuff. Now I'm not going crazy, I'm kind of letting the wheel do what the wheel does. But yeah, man, this is working really, really good. And the TC Controls Tesla controller, thank you for that. It's working fabulous. My controller, the fan comes on at 49 degrees and cuts off at 47. And during one hill where I actually hit 20 kilowatts, the temperature went up to 50. And I mean, it wasn't but a few minutes before the temperature brought it back down again. I think if it was hotter, I may have more of a problem. At the moment, it seems like it's okay, but I may need to at some point put a larger radiator, since I'm dealing with such low temperatures. 50 C. If it's 100 degrees outside, that's like 40 something C. So, to keep it at 48 degrees C when it's 45 degrees C, the difference in temperatures is pretty narrow. So you need a bigger radiator to displace the heat. So, but for the time being, I don't know what the temperature is. It's gorgeous today. It's been so hot and humid the last week or so. But the temperature it is now, it might be 80 something, but the humidity is pretty low. And in the woods, it's wonderful with all the trees. So, which is, not surprising because trees often are in the woods. I'm rambling. Okay, we'll catch you later. Okay, this is just an easy part of the trail, but I just wanted to come back on and just say how nice this is. This is just so nice. Like, you just lean your head out and you go slow, or you kind of speed up a little bit. It's just so nice. It's just quiet. Yeah. And I mean, you're not gonna be able to show you this, but like, we're not using any kind of power. Shaky cam, sorry. I mean, 3 kilowatts to get up this kind of steep hill. That's 5 horsepower or something. It's like, it's nothing. So, yeah, this is just so very, very nice. I don't think I'm gonna do an intermediate. I'll probably do this again. I'd like to get a passenger. I think that'd be cool. Someone who's unfamiliar with electric vehicles. I could oh, here we go. This is pretty gnarly here. Oh shit. Ooh. Alright. Just kind of give it a little bit more gas to get up this. I didn't know this was coming. Alright, so this is pretty gnarly here. We're in 16 kilo. Woof. Yeah. Yeah, that was really steep, y'all. Not gonna lie, that was really steep. I can hear the Jeep behind me just revving up, but you know, there's no sound here at all. Like, even the transmission howl that I've been complaining about since I've had this thing finished, when you're going this slow, man, it's just not there. Like, this is just quiet like you would expect an EV to be. I'm sorry, man, but this is the way to go. It's just fantastic. I guess I'm biased, but yeah, with stronger axles underneath this thing, I wouldn't hesitate to go on the moderates, even the hard tracks. But I just don't want to break anything is all. And I'm worried about my carriers, in the differentials. I've got an open front end, and it's just the factory differential. The back, I've got that lunchbox locker in it, so that kind of distributes the load across the axles. And then, you know, I got chromoly axles, so they're not going to break, not with stuff like this. But I'm just kind of nervous about the axles breaking, and yeah, I'm pleased as anything about how this is working. So we're just going to stick with the easy this time. All right. This is another one of those I probably shouldn't be holding the camera and recording at the same time, but as before, if it goes weird, I'm just going to throw the camera. So this is a really steep pitch, really steep bank right here with a hard right turn. And one guy had to stop and back up, but I'm not. Oh man, that was not really. That's ridiculous. All right, I thought that was going to be something. Well, we'll just keep it rolling. As we can see, I don't know if you can. There's a green Jeep up in front of me. Fortunately, I got a couple Jeeps between me and that dude that with the carburetor problem, so I'm not dealing with the exhaust fumes anymore. There was a guy in front of me that had a stereo turned on. The bass was bumping, so I pulled over and collect some poison oak on my leg brake, and yeah. So we're doing 13 kilowatts. Had a little bit of slide out there, but no problem. Gee, 15 kilowatts. It's just so easy. Like, it's just so simple. There's no clutch to worry about. Like, it's just so good. Right. Okay, so that concludes today's green section. We did 6.6 miles, used 6% charge. I can't imagine the average kilowatt output was more than 5. There was one hill towards the end, I hit a top of 26 kilowatts. I wish I'd have recorded the amp hours that I used, because then I could like back calculate kilowatt hours to figure out how much actual battery energy I used, but I didn't. I think it was probably around 20, but maybe not. That's a total guess. Anyway, fantastic, worked flawless. Everything was great. The fan was great. The power steering was great. I never had any problem with traction. Yeah, just really, really good. So I hope to do this again today or tomorrow. Well, hopefully today, because still the day is young. It's 2:30. I'm headed to a little car show right now. We'll see how that goes. And yeah, talk to you later. All right, so I'm at the little Jeep show they got going on here. Tesla Jeep was attracting some attention, but it wasn't until I put that cord in there. Now everybody that walks by, they can see that something's a little bit different. Then they can come by and check it out. I had a guy from the ranch here. He had a camera, and we did like a little interview. And sort of to wrap up the interview, I went ahead and turned the thing on, put it in gear, or put it in drive, and did a little burnout. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 four-wheel burnout. And it is so dusty here. I didn't think about the burnout being so dusty, and like all of these nice, pretty clean Jeeps. I gave them a shower of dust. I felt so bad. But the camera guy's like, don't worry about it. So I'm not worried about it. But if you're one of them Jeeps that got all dusty, I am sorry. But yeah, man, this is a good show. I'm having a good time. And yeah, we'll see you later. All right, well, we're back on the easy trail again. And as I suspected, a couple folks I met, they tried to talk me into going on the more difficult trail, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna cash out my chips, take it as a win. We'll try something harder later, but for now we're just gonna stick with the easy trail. Turns out I can't give away a ride in this thing, so I'm going solo again. They're actually behind me, so there's a few spots where I'm gonna pull over and see if I can't get them to take a video of it for me, going over some harder trails. But we started out with 154 amp hours and 66% charge, so we'll see what it is when we get done. Okay, bye. Alright, so I forgot to do the video after the trails yesterday, but kind of same situation as far as power and energy use. 6.5 miles, used 6% of battery life. I remembered to look at the amp hours used, and I don't remember what the amp hours was, but I did all the conversion. It was 9.990 watts, so 10 kilowatt hours worth of energy was all it used. To do a quick conversion, that's like a third of a gallon of gas, something like that. So man, it just didn't use any. And if you know, it consistently uses about 1% per mile of trail. So you know, I charged up last night and I'm at 92% now, so I could go 90 miles worth of trails, and at 5 miles an hour on the trails, that's, let me see here, third grade math, 9 divided by 8, that's 18 hours. I could go 18 hours of trail riding. So you know, if you wanted to go on a long ride, you know, you start out and you'd go for 8 hours, stop, camp up, and then come back. I mean, it'd be it'd be 2 very long days of riding. So any fears of not being able to you know, to have enough energy for the trails is not really founded, let's just say. And my one engineering issue that I have is right back here. That is kind of a problem. My rear battery box. I don't have a particularly good departure angle, so that's kind of a thing. I could improve that a little bit by putting bigger tires on, maybe 35s. And I tell you, if I put 35s on it and sort of some more off-roadish tires instead of all-terrains like this, it'd do a whole lot better, air the tires down a little bit. But yeah, man, this has been a fantastic event. I've had such a good time. All these people are so nice. They will bend over backwards for you. The Jeep is a ridiculous success. We were driving along on the trail yesterday, and I did finally find someone to go for a ride with me, and he wanted to stop and pull over for a minute. So we did, and his wife just happened to mention to some passing wheelers that that this was electric, and they're like, bullshit, and they're like, yeah, come on. So we opened the hood, and before you know it, there was so many people. There was like a line of Jeeps behind just waiting, and none of them cared because they all wanted to check this thing out. So that was pretty awesome. Yeah, it's like, yeah, he said that all I need to do is get into like a crowd of Jeeps and, you know, just open the hood and step back. And the first guy will come up there thinking something's wrong, and then, you know, he'll bring in the crowd. But it was really, really cool. And yeah, so, oh yeah, one other cool thing. I went to the show and shine I was telling you about. I got some hardware. This is the coolest trophy I've ever seen in my life. Tennessee Trail Jam, best build. That's just the neatest thing. This trophy, this sucker is solid, man. Those are real car parts. That's a real differential. I think it's even out of a Dana 30 or 35 or something. I'm not really sure what it is, but this is heavy duty stuff, man. This trophy weighs like 40 pounds. It's fantastic. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I can't believe they awarded that to me. So I'm really excited about that. I'll definitely find a place in the garage for that one. But yeah, 2022 Loretta Lynn's Tennessee Trail Jam, put on by the Topless in Tennessee guys. Just fantastic. Just what an event. What a thing. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. All right, so before we end this, I wanted to give a big special thanks to pretty much everyone here at the Loretta Lynn Ranch. Corky, and especially Chuck. Chuck drove me around in his little side-by-side for about an hour or so. I was kind of hanging out with him while he was doing errands, but he helped me get an RV plug so that I could plug the Jeep in and get it topped off. So big thanks to those guys. Also thanks to Barry and Steve and Steve's wife. I'm sorry, Steve's wife. I never got your name. He calls you S, so I'm going to call you S. So Barry and S, and Steve. So yeah, special thanks to you guys for your hospitality and kindness, and also to dang it, I'm so bad with name. Doug was my neighbor. He whipped up some pork one night and it was just fabulous. And Caleb is Doug's son. So just thanks to everybody for being so nice and so welcoming and so open-minded with this crazy electric Jeep thing. So alrighty, until next time.